Oh, that's kind of yeah. And then before then, obviously, I was doing work on PC. Before the advent of a nice indie platform for Xbox 360. The problems with the PC that I came up with, or I came up against. Not to say my game would have sold amazingly, or my games would have sold amazingly if there was no piracy. But I think piracy it's a huge killer for indie gaming, because indie gaming it kind of has this sort of fad-like quality to it. If you have a game like Modern Warfare, that's like a platform. You spend 2 years just playing nothing but Modern Warfare. You buy map packs for Modern Warfare. Indie games, when they come out, if they're like $10 or whatever, it becomes the hotness on all the blogs. You play it, and you're done with it. If you have 1 or 2 man development teams, that's basically what you can produce. So if you release on PC for a pirate, if it's not an investment type thing, if it's just it's a fad that's in now this week, and then I'm going to be done with it next week. Indie gaming really, really lends itself well to piracy, and it's a killer. I think the World of Goo, they said that their game was pirated. It was like 95% of copies or something were pirated. But otherwise you've got the varying hardware, the varying software configurations. Game pads, pulling for joysticks, it's a huge hassle. And then installers and uninstallers, and then distribution is a big deal on PC too. If you have a website, probably people won't go to it. And then you compare that to XNA on Xbox 360, and you can't really pirate so well because you have to have a mod chip. And then if they catch you pirating, I made it where they fork your account, which means that you get super mad and bring it up at PAX or whatever. Yeah. Right. The hardware is all standard, the input's all standard, everything's standard. The Automagic, that's stuff like if you plug in a gamepad, it just it says, all right, there are 2 gamepads plugged in now. You don't have to pull for devices added or removed. It's very very easy to work with. And then Xbox Indie Games and XBLA distribution are they're channels that are very approachable. You don't have to have as much word of mouth to be visible like that. And then do I say that on the next slide? Oops. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. There's C#. Managed C# with XNA it's just super easy to work with, especially for people like me who can't grasp complex concepts. The cross-platform deployment on Xbox 360, Windows Phone 7, and then x86 is cool. I just got a phone. I haven't tried it out yet, but it'll be fun to play with. And then it runs on like a retail console, and it runs on a dev kit just the same. We've got 2 dev kits, 2 retail consoles.
You're kind of unique though in that, aren't you? Where you obviously love XNA, but also is it that you're one of the few developers who uses XNA strictly for Xbox Live Arcade games and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's a couple. Schizoid was XNA.
Not many though.
Right. I'm thinking off the top of my head. Yeah, I know Schizoid was the first XNA game, and I don't think it did that well.
Because I bring that up because because even if you didn't have a dev kit, you can start. I might be wrong, but Vampire Smell started on a retail kit, right? Yeah. So then it kind of grows, into full-fledged kind of thing.
Yeah, and deploying on a retail kit, they lock out some things like achievements and leaderboards and what else? Oh, Rich Presence is the other one. But yeah, with the dev kit, and I think I can say it. There's a thing called E4A, Extensions for Arcade. That's a framework that works with it works with the XNA framework, so it gives you extra objects to work with that expose achievements and all that sort of stuff. And it works pretty well. It's a lot of it is when we're working on the dishwasher. A lot of it was like, why is this happening? I don't know. No one's ever come up against this before. And it was very a new experience for me and for Microsoft. They did testing and stuff on their end, so we had a lot of new problems. And, we weren't.
No.
It was exciting for good reasons and bad reasons. And then, something I found out kind of late in the game was that you can just use a WinForm with an XNA project. You can launch your XNA game, which, when you create an XNA game, it sets up all the graphics, whatever, frame loops, all that stuff. But then you can have it launch a WinForm, and then you can keep a lot of, HUD like GUI elements for map editor creation with that. And then, it's good for fast prototyping. And then, Xbox Live Integration's got a networking engine built in, and friends and invite handling, all that good stuff. Which actually, I tried that. I made a game, a VB6. Actually, that was ZP2K5, and I couldn't actually find any screenshots for it because it's so buried. But I tried making a multiplayer game in VB6, and that's like a huge okay, what do I do now problem is how do you set up a server for finding new games? It's just a problem that doesn't have like an obvious, or maybe it does by now. This was like 5 years ago. But with Xbox Live, with XNA on Xbox Live, you can just search for games. It'll just find you a list of games that are playing, and all that's maintained on the Xbox Live side. And then here's the map editor for Charlie Murder, just sort of showing what the look of it all is. I built this tool from scratch. You basically have like a drag and drop system where you've got all these map tiles that you can throw in, and then there's entities. It's showing all the entities here too. There's like light sources there. I made like a scripting engine. But it's just making tools like that is so helpful for making games fast, and being able to make tools fast is great. There's the character editor too. I've got sort of like a hierarchical system where you've got animations, and it's basically what you have in anything, but it's a 2D implementation. You got animations and keyframes, and then each frame, like we're looking at a frame here that's composed of parts, arms and legs and stuff. And then I create the animation by stringing together a bunch of frames. And there's scripting with that too. I'm kind of flying. Are there any questions so far?
So, you make everything in your games, right?
Right.
The art, the design, the levels, everything.
Yeah, I drew that. Let's see. Whoops. I drew that. Yeah. Actually, for a while I was drawing stuff, but then now let's not talk about that. So then, that's sort of like the development side of it. I don't know. I've probably used up like 5 minutes so far, and I said I'd be up here for 40.
What's different for you if you're an XBLA title versus indie channel?
XBLA, you have to pass cert. So Microsoft has a strict list of certification requirements. They have to, they do internal testing to make sure you pass all those. Whereas indie gaming, it's a peer review process.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, so.
But so is it why is one better for you or the other? Is XBLA actually worth more for you?
XBLA, the market is way bigger. So I made a game with zombies, the one that I made. It's the top grossing indie game right now. Castle Crashers is the top grossing arcade game. Castle Crashers is making, I think it's over 10 times as much as I made a game with zombies, and that's in units sold, not in revenue. So it's just the market is
it's kind of how it's treated is Xbox Live Arcade games are like the premium tier. That's how they treat it, right?
Yeah, because everyone can see the indie channel, right? Is it just
everyone can
you're dealing with?
Yeah, but
if you live in Australia.
Yeah, there's certain things like that, but a lot of people then kind of equate that with lower quality games, or there's a lot of shovelware, which
partly because there's a lot of lower quality games.
But also another big draw of the Xbox is achievements, which indie games don't get, so that's kind of a little put off for some people.
And rich presents. I play Xbox Live Arcade games just for the rich presents.
There you go.
Which is, I didn't know what it was when I started on the dishwasher. It's where when you look up a friend, it shows what they're doing in the game.
Exactly.
It was a learning experience for me.
Actually, one of the big requirements too for the Xbox Live Arcade is you are required to have a publisher, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you can't just think you have this great thing kind of thing.
But so you've made it to a point. So you're churning along making a game for indie channel, and Microsoft says, "Hey, we want it." That's not a typical experience.
I don't know. I think more lately, what's happened is a lot of indie games have been sort of scooped in for Windows Phone 7. But for XBLA, yeah, it's not that typical. I think, like right now I'm at the point where I've got some, contacts, but more friends within Microsoft who, they'll go to bat for me and they'll put together really awesome presentations saying, we want this game on XBLA now, and it works, but it does put me in a compromised situation where people will come to me and say, hey, can you tell them to get my game on too? And, it's awkward.
That said, I don't think it's impossible though. For if you have like a presence and you keep turning up good games on the indie games channel, like people see that, blogs pick it up, there's attention, and then it's kind of for you as the developer to kind of roll with that, make contacts, and kind of kind of do the footwork.